If you're someone that is often looking at other people's Instagrams on their trips, on their vacations, and you're wondering how the heck are they traveling so much? How do they afford to travel? And secretly you want to be like them, then this is a video for you. Hi, my name is Kirsten. Welcome to my channel. As a freelance writer, a finance or money and travel coach, as a freelance personal finance writer, and someone that has been living abroad for 7 years, I like to talk about topics related to money and travel, give you practical advice on how you can move abroad or travel more often, live abroad, and be financially secure, financially stable. And I also like to talk about the Black travel experience, as well as sharing with you authentic, real, and hopefully interesting aspects of what it's like living abroad, specifically living in Spain, where I've called home for the past 6 years. So, for this video, I interviewed one of my really good friends who has traveled to more than 6 different countries in the last 2 or 3 years. He's also living abroad currently. And no, he's not someone that has come from a really rich family. He's not someone that's doing like some multi-million dollar business. He's just a really cool guy that works really hard and has learned how to manage his money well so that he can travel more often as well as live abroad. So if you keep running into the problem of like, oh, I want to travel more, but my bank account isn't letting me do it, if your bank account or your finances has stopped you from traveling the way that you want to, or is the reason why you haven't moved abroad, then this video will help you take the next steps to making your dreams a reality. Okay, well, welcome Marlon to the show. Marlon is one of my oldest friends. And so I'm really excited to talk with you today, to learn more about your travels, learn how you manage to afford to travel, how you're traveling as a DJ. I think you have so much to share with anybody that listens. So welcome. And first and foremost, tell everyone about who you are and also share with us how would people you know describe you?
Well, thank you. Appreciate you, Kirsten, my dearest, oldest, bestest friends. Yeah, appreciate it. Um, and yeah, just just to set things off, like, yeah, I'm a traveler and I'm a DJ. But the reason I am a traveler is because of you. You were the reason and the person that got me traveling. Seeing you do it as a single black female traveling the world like Carmen San Diego and living in other places really inspired me. And you know more than anybody how much I needed to escape and how much back home was tearing me down. So it was just
Mhm.
time for a switch up.
Yep.
I had a couple of trials, and now I'm in my longest journey right now. So
Mhm.
yeah, we'll get more into that later. But appreciate you. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Keep inspiring.
Thank you. And how would people
um,
describe you? Yeah. I know how I would describe
I,
you.
I would say maybe the three F's.
Mhm.
I would say fun, free,
Mhm.
and funny.
Yeah, exactly. Is that sense of freedom, of wanting to be free. I think that's something that I think a lot of Black people can relate to because we have, I think freedom and that sense of freedom and to know freedom is something that unfortunately some of our ancestors didn't know. It's what
Exactly.
our ancestors fought for. So I think that a lot of Black people need to travel more, and why they travel is for that sense of freedom. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like I make it a priority to even to travel, whether it's out like whether it's 2 hours away from home, an hour away from home, like somewhere new, field trips. Like I don't
Mhm.
just because we're not in school doesn't mean we can't have field trips anymore. Like
Yeah,
field trips were the best part of school
they were.
because we weren't in class.
They were. And you learned a lot more. I feel like you don't remember
Yeah,
anything that you don't remember most of what you learned in the classroom, but you remember your field trips. You remember what you did on.
yeah.
Tell me a little bit more, because Marlon and I are from the same area, but tell us a little bit more about like where you're from, and what
So,
kind of, yeah.
wait, well, go ahead. My bad. And what kind of?
Yeah, no, this is like where you're from and where you're currently located. That's the question.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm from Los Angeles, California. I grew up in the South Bay area, a city called Harbor City. But I also was back and forth between South Central, and that's where I was living the past 8 years. Now I'm currently in Thailand for the second time. I was here 5 years ago, and now I'm in an island called Koh Samui. This was the only island I didn't get to visit last time because it's like three islands around here:
Mm-hmm.
Koh Tao, Koh Phangan, and Koh Samui. So this is my first time being out here. Been in Thailand since June, but I've been in Koh Samui for 2 months. And yeah, I'm gonna say this is probably my favorite island out of the three. I
Nice.
used to think Koh Tao was, but then this one is just a little bit bigger and nicer to me. So yeah,
Yeah.
I love it here. Gonna be here probably a little bit longer.
Yeah.
We'll just see how the future holds up.
Yeah. 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 And what made you know that, like, okay, this is the place that I want to, like, stay? This is like what stood out to you about this place, that place?
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily Koh Samui, but it's just Thailand in general. Like Thailand, like when I visited 5 years ago, it was like my first. It was my not my first time, but my second time solo traveling. And
Mm-hmm.
so like the plan was supposed to just be at this hostel because I got a job and work as a DJ in Bangkok, but that literally changed in 2 weeks, and I ended up visiting all of like so many parts of like Thailand, like Chiang Mai,
Mm-hmm.
Pai, Chiang Rai, just all these surrounding areas because Thailand is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally getting to the water, so Koh Phangan, and then Koh Tao, and just like seeing how affordable it is,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing how affordable it is, and knowing how like they literally pretty much have everything that you need here. You pretty much can find it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the cost of living and food, like the basics, food, water, shelter, affordable,
Yeah.
easy, no credit check, no down payment, no person last,
Yeah.
no nothing. They just say this is the price. It can be it can go. The thing about Thailand, there's a budget for everybody.
Okay.
If you want you just want a bed, you can get a bed. If you just want a room, you can get a room. If you want a room with a bathroom, you can get a room with a bathroom. If you want
Mm-hmm.
an apartment, you want a studio, there's something from everybody's budget,
Yeah.
and it's affordable.
Yeah.
Like they're not about to run no background check on you. They just want the money, and when the time is up, you either pay again or you get out. It's simple.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think that's so refreshing, especially for people that are thinking about going abroad. That, like, one, you can go abroad and get your needs met. Specifically, if you go to Thailand, you can go abroad and know that, like, all right, I can find a place to eat, I can find a place to sleep, and know that you have
Mm-hmm.
options.
I
Because
don't know, like and then I'm just a beach person, you know that, and the beaches out here are amazing.
hmm
I'm living right by it. It's walking distance,
hmm
and yeah, it's just a better, it's just like, and then I'm not driving a car, I'm driving a motorbike, so
hmm
that's even better. Gas is less than $1 to fill up. You know what I mean? So
hmm
it's just kind of like when you find something that matches your speed,
Yeah,
like this place matches. There's so many pros than cons.
there you go, there you go. And tell me a little bit more about, like, how you got started with your solo traveling, why you started traveling in the first place. Yeah, tell me about your origin stories, that got you to traveling.
Well, yeah, like I said earlier, like the reason I kind of started traveling because I've been in LA my whole life, and the longest I ever left was only like 3 months, 3.5 months.
Mm,
So to cover so many areas, work, school, friends, all that, and then also to just always just be there, and then it just gets to you. You'd be like, all right, I can't do this no more. I need something else.
mhm,
But I felt like with me being in LA and visiting, other states and stuff, before, like I just felt like going to another state would just be that's thinking small. Like you got to think big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, like so when you gave me some tips of how you traveled and what some things I can do, like going to Workaway or
Mhm,
worldpackers.com where you can
mhm.
find places that people want help. They need volunteers. They need
Yep.
some of
Mhm,
them. Some of them are paying gigs,
mhm,
but they always offer food, water, and
mhm,
shelter. You know what I mean?
mhm,
And so to find out that people around the world was doing that, like all around the world, I was like, okay, I'm set, like
mhm.
easy.
Yeah.
So I found a DJ. No, I found a volunteering one first
Mhm.
um, in Africa. So I was like, if I'm gonna go somewhere first, I'm gonna go to Africa.
Yeah.
Let's just do it.
Mhm,
So I went to Africa, went to East Africa, started off in Rwanda, started and made my way to Uganda, and
mhm.
then finished in Kenya. And yeah, like that was the biggest adult lesson and essay final I've ever taken because once you get off that plane, after what I think was my longest plane ride, was like 21 hours altogether.
Yeah.
Like once you get off that plane, it's like start, figure it out. It's like figure out the visa, figure out where you're staying, figure out the language, figure out the taxi, figure out the food, figure
Mhm.
out the money, like
Yeah.
figure out the cell phone, figure out the cell phone. And yeah, you just kind of got to go with what you know, what you've been taught, and figure it out.
Mhm.
And so yeah, like looking at Workaway, and then doing that, I was like, okay, that was a success. And let me go to Thailand because I've always wanted to go to Thailand. And yeah, I found a DJ gig at a hostel. They're like, yeah, we need a DJ for our rooftop bar. I was like, easy in the in the heart of Bangkok.
Mm.
So it was like easy, easy, easy. You know what I mean? And that went cool until I met some other travelers, and then the whole plans changed, and I got to visit all the other spots.
That's it.
And since Thailand, I've been to El Salvador, I've been to Egypt, I've been to Vancouver, I've been to the Bahamas, I've been to Mexico, I've been to like a handful of other states. And yeah, it's crazy because this year is like my most traveling year. Like ended 2023
Mhm.
in London, going
Mhm.
to London for the first time.
That, yeah.
And then we went to 2024 being in London. And from London we went to Amsterdam. And in Amsterdam we went to Paris for a day. And then I just ran it back back in April. I've been going since late April of 2024, and I
Amazing.
started in Bali. Then made my way to other parts of Indonesia. Then I went to Philippines, and then from the Philippines. I went to Japan, which was not even on the list, but I'm so glad I went.
Mhm.
And then I'm here now in Thailand, and I found a DJ gig. It's almost like the exact same thing that happened 5 years ago is happening now, except for now I got like legit paperwork.
There you
So
go.
I'm not like
Yeah.
I don't have to like get up out of here right away.
I feel like there's just so much richness in what you said because one, I think that it's a perfect example of kind of when you really dedicate yourself to something, like the universe makes it happen. Like you decided like traveling was your thing, and then it was like this country, that country, this country, which is amazing. But I also know that probably people listening to this might be wondering, okay, but like, how did you afford that? Like, because you've been traveling a lot, and I think that's one of the barriers that a lot of people have with travel. It's like, well, yeah. So, what are some of the strategies that you have used? And you mentioned like volunteering abroad, but what are some other strategies that you have used to be able to afford traveling so much?
So yeah, like I mean, at the end of the day, traveling is not easy, but it all depends on where you're trying to go, how far you're trying to go,
Mm-hmm.
what you're trying to do, how long you're trying to stay. So if you're trying to just, um, if you're in your own state and you haven't been like, maybe there's somewhere you want to go and it's 3 hours away, you're only paying for gas,
Mm-hmm.
really. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure you have enough money to save up. If you go out every weekend, you can get some gas money to go somewhere in the state.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying, I mean, if you're trying to go out of state, yeah, look online to see what places are cheap
Mm-hmm.
around the time you want to go. And then if you really want to go, you should always plan maybe 6 months or 3 months at least ahead of time to
Absolutely.
save up your money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So my situation is that like I don't like bills. I don't like that S.
Mhm.
I can't stand it. So what I do is pay my shit off for the year. I pay my bills off for the year. I pay my cell phone off for the year. I pay my car insurance. If not for the year, 6 months, but it's with two payments for at all at most for car insurance.
Nice.
I pay my when I'm paying rent. I always try to give like a 2 months ahead or a month ahead, just because like when you pay off your stuff, you do have more money to save. So now you have more to put away
Mhm.
for like they say a rainy day or whatever.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I always just tell people like if you want to really just travel without having to worry so much, pay your bills off for the year if you can. Pay your cell phone off. You shouldn't be
Mhm.
paying three bills for your cell phone. That's just crazy.
Yeah. 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 That's
And you should also just put like anytime you come up on money, like whether you get tips or extra income randomly, put that be like, all right, that's going to the trip. That's
mhm.
going to the trip.
Mhm.
That's going to the trip.
Mhm.
And even like with me with DJing, like let's say, somebody can't afford my price, I'll work with them. Cause whatever I'm like, okay, they can't afford this, but they can afford this. With them, with me working with them, they're just paid for my plane ticket. So
Mhm.
now I don't gotta worry about my plane ticket.
Yeah.
So you gotta know when and how to negotiate
Mhm. Mhm.
for to get things. Same thing with like rooms and places. Like, okay, you can go on Expedia, you can go on Orbitz, but keep looking. You know what I mean? And don't get so crazy because of the deal, because there's probably another deal within 24 hours.
That's a good point. Yeah.
They always gonna have deals. They have a lot of deals. If you just sign up to the email, you'll find out when the deals are.
That is a hack. Yes, that is a hack. I think I've mentioned in a couple articles I've written. They're just like sign up for newsletters because that's when you're going to get those discounts.
Yeah.
They're going to
And
advertise.
I get how they can give you too much, stuff in your email, but you
Mm-hmm.
just when you do it, you only just say, "I want notifications for discounts for
Yeah.
trips." You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to get every little thing that they want to send you.
Exactly. Exactly. I think another piece of advice I've given is like you can even just have like a separate email just for that. Like just so that way you don't
Yeah,
check it all the time. You can just check it when you want to. It's not coming to your main email address, so you don't get that filled up. So yeah, I think
exactly.
that is the chic. And I love that idea of paying off your bills. I think I haven't really heard that in a lot of the financial, budget travel advice that I've heard. I haven't really heard a lot of people saying like pay off your bills, but it's so true because if you pay it off, then you have less to worry about. Then you can go somewhere for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months without having to be like, oh man, I got to pay rent when I get back. So I think,
Yeah, like it's just kind of just like they charge you more when you pay them monthly, but
hmm
they give you a discount if you pay it off for the year because they know most people aren't going to do it.
exactly,
But if
exactly.
you have the means to go out on a weekend
hmm
and just go out for 2 days and a night and eat food, trust that I say you have enough to pay off your
Exactly,
car insurance
exactly.
or at least your
hmm
phone bill or your phone insurance for something. You know what I mean? It's gonna
hmm
you the more you get rid of stuff that's a monthly, the more at peace you'll be traveling. Cause you'll be like,
That's
everything I got is mine. It's not going to a
mhm,
bill. It's not
mhm.
no automatic transaction coming out of my account. It's just
Mhm.
all my pocket.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And then kind of going into like the next question of, it focusing on money and shifting like your perspective and now my voice decided to go away. Shifting your perspective on how you deal with your bills, how you spend money. What are some mindset shifts that you've had to make when it comes to money and travel?
Definitely just saying like, regardless of what's going to happen, we're going.
Mhm,
We're
mhm,
going. I don't care if we're selling all of our stuff. We're going. You have to like be set in stone of saying like we're doing this, and I don't care how it's happening, but we're doing it.
mhm,
Also, just like the simplest thing that I've been noticing too that I've been starting the past couple years is just writing it down
mhm,
every day,
mhm,
once a day, twice a day, three times a day, however you want to do it. But if you write it down and say it out loud, it will happen.
mhm,
I saw this video where it's called like 369,
mhm.
where you write it first I write what you want 3 times in the morning, and then 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before you go to bed for
Interesting.
30 days,
Okay.
and it will happen.
Try that. I wanna
And I was mentioning this because I literally did it and it worked.
You're
Like
like, "No, it
I
works."
was already in Thailand when I first got here in June, but I wasn't like, booking everything like I had. And so, but prior to that, I was writing every day. I'm like, I will be getting paid to DJ in Thailand. I will be getting paid to DJ in Thailand. I literally did it 3 times a day, every day for 30 days, and it worked.
I'm legit gonna try
Like the
that.
cliche stuff works.
Mhm. No, you're right, and I think that what it does, like, on a more, I guess, neurological level, and I'm not a scientist, but I think what it does, it trains your mind to focus on that. When you're writing something, 3, 6, 9 times a day, like, your mind gets focused on that, and then your mind starts to see, like, okay, well, how are we going to make this happen? If this is going to happen, this is what I want. What are we going to do? And I'm definitely a firm believer of what you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on getting that DJ
Yeah.
gig, that's what you're going to get. And so, what are some mistakes that you've made when it comes to money and or travel, or some lessons?
Sometimes with money, like let's just say like going back and forth too much.
Mm,
Because sometimes when you just do that, like, oh, should I do it? I don't know. That's high. You're like back and forth. Just do it sometimes. Like
mhm,
not
mhm,
everything, but
mhm,
like when you do that on a day-to-day basis, it's going to ruin the trip experience.
mhm,
You know
mhm.
what I mean? Money comes and goes. It
Yeah.
literally comes and goes. It just goes from one hand to the other.
Mhm,
So regardless if you spent this amount, it's gonna come back eventually.
mhm,
And
mhm,
if you keep trying to like one foot in, one foot out with every decision that you're trying to do, then you're not gonna have a good memory of the trip. You're gonna be like, dang, I should have did that, but I
mhm.
was being cheap, or I
Yeah.
had the money, but I didn't. You know what I mean? It's like just if it's something you really want to do and you have the funds to do it and it's not going to like
Right.
kill your wallet, then just
Right.
do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Like literally just do it.
Mhm,
Another thing is um kind of having more of like knowing how much stuff is costing before I get there. Like
yes.
knowing so much the cell phone
Mhm,
service is,
mhm,
knowing how much the place is, how much the conversion fee is with your money, how much they're gonna charge if you use your credit card. Like, because sometimes you could just be using your card, using your card, using your card. Like I was doing at the train station in London, and I was like, "Damn, they charged me like $30." And we was just on the train all day, and then they're like, "Oh, you should have." Someone was like, "You should have just bought the 7 day pass." I'm
mhm,
like,
mhm, mhm.
oh, okay, stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
trying to know if you know you're gonna be doing stuff, like try to find all the right apps that's going to help you along the way and not hurt your
Mhm,
pockets.
mhm.
Because otherwise you
Exactly.
can keep spending.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Mhm,
yeah, and I would say like the other final thing with money is like just almost splitting up like we have multiple accounts, but splitting up this money is for fun, this
mhm,
money is for
mhm,
food,
mhm.
this money is to either add to either one of those pots.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I do that, kind of a plug, I want to say, but I use SoFi, is like an online bank, and they have that. They have like different categories that you can put in your savings for like travel, eating
Okay.
out. But yeah, I definitely believe because then you know where your money's going, and then you can save. And you divide your money up like
Exactly.
that, then it's easier instead of just spending it and then realizing like, oh no, where did all my money go?
Yeah, like now we're borrowing from this account to put it back in this account. Like,
Exactly, exactly. So let's go. So what's some advice that you would give to people that want to start traveling for longer periods of time, or they want to start traveling more often?
um, if you want to, if you want to start traveling more often, then just start testing yourself with it.
Mhm,
Whether you go with a group, whether because I do group travels, I do solo travel, I
mhm,
do maybe one other person travel, like a
mhm,
pair, but like I try it all. So I would say try all different types of travel
mhm,
to see which one like which one you like the most, or maybe you might like all of them. But
mhm,
the more you do, you'll get different types of travels and different type of experiences.
mhm,
Um, and then also just like start with going out of the city, then going out of state. If
mhm.
you got some experience going out of state, then try going out of the country. You can go to the closest country to you if you don't feel too comfortable, just to
Exactly.
test it out.
Mhm.
Try the cruise. I think people sleep on cruises. Cruises are is a great way to travel and feel way more safe and secure with
True.
everything. The only rule is you have to get back on the boat. That's all. That's the only rule. So just remember that, and you'll be
Yeah,
able to visit multiple places.
that's
And the thing
true.
about cruising is like when you're on a cruise ship, you don't have to like the food is free all the time. So if you're
Mhm.
not feeling the food in the state or the country that you're in when they dock, like then you just explore and go right back to the ship and you can eat.
There you
You know
go.
what I mean? So you can
Yeah.
save more money that way too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and then if you want to travel, I would say for an extended amount of time, then just make sure to save up.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like every time you have come up on money, put that away. Be like, this is going to this trip. This
Mhm.
is going to this trip. Um, and just always be like, if someone's telling you about it or you really want to do it, then be like, I'm going. Like
Mhm.
anyway, all somebody really has to do is just send me an invite.
Mhm.
And if it's
Mhm.
somewhere like interesting, I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go. I
Yeah.
find a way every time.
There you go. There you go.
Like
Yeah.
if you really want to do it, you'll find a way. Don't just not go. Like
Mhm.
go.
Mhm.
That's really the simplest thing. Go get a passport, people. Explore because traveling is the best teacher you will ever have in your life because you're
Absolutely.
experiencing language, culture, food, living situation, and it's going to bring your reality to a different reality and humble yourself and make you more grateful for what you have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think kind of going back to what we were saying, it's just like traveling, you learn to figure it out. You learn to trust yourself in a way that you wouldn't have to do if you just stayed in your comfort zone. Yeah. And then you learn that, like, oh, wait, other people live differently. I don't have to live exactly like this. I don't have to live in this hustle culture because not everyone in the world lives in this hustle culture. It's just mostly the United States
Yeah,
and other places too. But
facts.
yeah, it's yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned from being in Spain. It's like, oh, people actually, like, don't prioritize. I mean, they prioritize work, but they're like, when they're off of work, they're off of work. Like, they're not, like,
Yeah, they're living.
you're living. Exactly. They're
They're
living.
outside. They're
They're
not just
outside.
on the phone.
Yes.
And like the smiles you see on people in other countries when they have less, it's just like,
Mhm.
what are we complaining about?
Mhm. Exactly. 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 Yay! Was there anything else that you just want to share that we didn't go over or didn't talk about?
No, I think honestly, I think that we covered just about everything. I think honestly, just the two biggest things is I would say writing it down
Mhm. Mhm.
and um, you know, trying stuff out.
Mhm.
Even if you have a problem saving, give
Mhm.
yourself a week to not spend no money on something unnecessary. See
Yeah.
how much you save from just spending, like from just cooking a week,
Mhm.
or
Mhm. Mhm.
how much money you save from not, going out to the club or wherever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
When you start seeing like how much your wallet is looking different, you're gonna make better decisions.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Once you kind of have that more consciousness or more control of your money, you realize, like, oh, wait a minute, I can actually start saving. I can actually start traveling with this money. Hmm.
Yeah, like you can really do whatever you want, honestly, because I got receipts out here.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
And you do too. Like your receipts inspired my receipts.
Thank you. Thank you. I try. I try.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you so much. I will link all of your handles. What is that called? Handles. Social media stuff in the description so that people can follow you on your journey and see what it's like traveling the world as a DJ, traveling the world as a black man too. Because I think that's super important. We need more black people out
Yeah.
in the world. And to
Yeah. We need a lot more of us outside and outside of other countries. Don't be so scary.
exactly, exactly. Ooh, yeah.
Like we're everywhere. We're everywhere.
That's the thing. That's, I
We're
think,
literally everywhere.
they're everywhere. Absolutely. And when
We may not dominate everywhere, but we're
but
everywhere.
we're everywhere. Yeah. And you can find community. And the more that we get out there, the more you'll discover more of us and the more that we can start making community outside of the United States or outside of.
Well, I hope that you found the video helpful. Please leave a comment below on what technique, what tip that you are going to apply. Remember, if you want to keep yourself accountable, if you just consume written text better, then you can click the link in my bio to download the PDF, which is just a quick summary, one page summary, 2 page summary about everything that we talked about when it comes to saving money so that you can travel. And again, if you like this type of content, make sure that you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao for now.